Hi guys, this is gsndon.com and I'm here with the Allview P3 Alldro, a Romanian phone, a pretty cheap phone for that matter. And it cost around $330. You saw its unboxing already. Now it's time for the full review of the device. I'm going to mess around with the brightness a bit to give you a clearer view of its display. So let's see what this device can do. As I said, it's an Android gingerbread phone with a custom interface, a low price, $330. Well, it measures 12.9 millimeters in thickness, so it's pretty thick. It weighs 135 grams, so it's quite heavy. It's got a plasticky back and a design that reminds me a bit of the era of the iPhone 3G, if you want. Other stuff to notice about the design: 4 capacitive buttons right here, a metallic ring around the device. As you can see, we have a notification LED right here at the top near the Allview logo. Also at the top we have the audio jack on-off button, and we have an 8 megapixel camera right here with a strong speaker near it, the logo of the device. Here we have the micro USB jack on this side, and that's about it when it comes to the design. Up front we have this beautiful display. It's a 4.1 incher. The resolution leaves a lot to be desired, 480 over 800 pixels. This is a dual SIM phone as shown by this logo right here, and right now we have inserted 2 SIM cards inside. So for example, if I press this, you'll see that we have Orange and Vodafone at the same time. Other stuff that I need to mention is that this device runs Android 2.3.5 with a custom interface from Allview. As you can see, the dock area, we have the calling button right here that can bring me to the contacts list. We have the application area right here with a nice effect when scrolling through apps, and finally we have the web browser. So the main area at the bottom allows you to access these 3 features. Other stuff that you need to know is that this device is based on an ARM 11 CPU, 670 MHz. It's got 512 megabytes of RAM, 512 megabytes of ROM, a micro SD card slot, so you can add more memory, 8 megapixel camera at the back. That was a bit of a pleasant surprise when I took some pictures with it. We also have a front camera, 0.3 megapixels, and 3G connectivity is of course available, Bluetooth 2.1, we've got Wi-Fi activated right now, an accelerometer, and your lithium-ion 1900 mAh battery should provide about 300 minutes of talk time on this device and about 1 or 2 days of use with normal activity on this handset. There are 6 main screens here that you can see that I'm scrolling through them. Here are all 6. You can add widgets to them. So there's a ton of widgets to add, like Twitter and stuff like that. Anyway, that's about it when it comes to the presentation of the device. It can do video calls, it can be used as a hotspot for up to 8 devices. And now I'm going to show you the audio playback to see how this device behaves when you put on a song. So listen to some Slipknot. Speaker at the back. And I can pause the music here. You also have a music control right here in the lock screen, which is always a good thing. And now it's time to use the video player. I took quite a while searching for the video player. This device doesn't work with Android Market or Google Play. I tried to install them but to no avail, so I had to use the other app store provided with this device. It's called One Mobile, the One Mobile Market, and there I found the mobile video player. As I said, this device has a bit of a problem with the formats I supplied. I supplied it with AVI, with MP4s, Try to get as good as an experience I could, but didn't quite work out that well. So let's try to see Green Lantern. Quite a nice interface that this mobile player has. So as you can see, it has a bit of lag. That was an MP4. Maybe if I try an Allview, I guess it will be the same, but who knows.
Actually, I was hoping to stay till the weekend. My son and his nanny are travelling out to join me. Oh, I see. If an holiday is what you're after, sir, you'd honestly be better off further inland.
So once again, a bit of lag. Believe me, I've tried quite a bunch of players. None of them seem to work exactly precise, so sorry about that. I couldn't even find a decent YouTube app, and I kept searching. So let's show you that app store in case you're wondering. Here it is, One Mobile Market, the replacement for Android Market and Google Play. It has application, it has a bunch of games, and it fortunately provides me with Facebook and Twitter and other usual apps, including Google Maps, but no trace of a decent video player, no trace of a YouTube player, or I didn't find it. So that's a pretty bad spot for this device. It's a spot on its image. Okay, you saw the video playback, the audio playback. Now it's obviously turned to check out the camera. As I said, it was quite of a pleasant surprise. Now let me use this pen to show you some of the options we have here. Here's the focus mode, scene modes, resolution, color effects like solarize, posterize, sepia, negative, none, capture mode, storing location, white balance, flash mode, zooming, and other stuff like that. It can be quite annoying, this sound that the camera does when taking pictures. And here's the picture that I just took. Takes a while to load, but should be decent. Some other pictures I've taken using this device. They have beautiful colors, as you can see. Too bad that the processor doesn't keep up with my pinch to zoom movements. And since I mentioned pinch to zoom, let's enter the browser, see what we can pinch in there. Let's check out gsmdown.com. And here you can see the virtual keyboard that we have available. There's also an app called Multilink that can help us use multiple keyboards on this device. And here's gsmdown.com. It's loaded, trying some pinch to zoom. Works decently, and now I'm going to give you a view of that unique virtual keyboard in landscape mode. Here it is. As you can see, it has placed the numeric buttons at the center, but there are many options you can select for this keyboard. For now, let me just get back to the task killer and kill some apps and take you to that multilingual keyboard. Hopefully I can find it. Here it is. It's an option that comes with the phone. It's called Multilink Keyboard. It has a bunch of keyboard settings, word suggestions, T9, themes, long presses, a lot of stuff that you can do with this keyboard application. Okay, so you saw the web browser. Now it's time to socialize. So let's show you Twitter. Here's Twitter, the good old Android app. The mentions that I get from people. You can discover stuff, view my profile with followers, direct messages, and other stuff like that. Now I'm moving on to Facebook. It seems to be taking a while to load on this 670 MHz CPU. Here we are. People posting pictures, videos and whatnot. Some notifications right here. People sending gifts, inviting me to stuff. And this is the main area with novelty, messages, things happening nearby, events, chat, groups and other stuff I'm into. There's also top stories and recent stories selection, friend requests, the usual stuff that you get on Facebook. Okay, and now there's Google Plus time with a stream, messenger, pictures, circles. And here's what people are saying in my circles. They talk about the new iPad a lot. So as you can see, social networking on this device is easily done. At least it's good for that. But you'll have to get all the apps from one mobile market, so you won't have them pre-installed. That's a bit of a bummer, since you have to install them yourself, configure them yourself. And that's about it. Now it's time to check out these Google apps that usually come with phones, but in my case I had to install them one by one. Starting with Gmail, for example. The classical Gmail interface, the classical Gmail experience, and moving on to the maps. Here's Google Maps, trying to locate myself. The phone can become slippery over time if your palms are sweaty. So, as you can see, we're using Google Maps right now. It seems to have an interesting feature now that shows you location, navigation, latitude, a history of the location. You can find restaurants, coffee shops, bars. So here's a bunch of locations that it found. You can also select it to show it on the map. As you can see, the random force closes are here. It randomly tells me that Google Play is dead every once in a while. And here's the bunch of bars that I found on the map. And this is my position. Zooming in a bit. So luckily you can use Google Maps on this device, no worry about that. What you should be worried about is the lack of YouTube and the lack of Android market. Once again, this is a cheap phone at $330, and here is the contact list that I have synced with this device. So you can go through all these contacts. A while ago I reviewed for you the predecessor of this phone. It was called P3 Alldro, also from Allview. I honestly think that was better, and it also was cheaper. I also synced the calendar from Google with this device. So here's the calendar, and here's last month with February 27th with the Mobile World Congress events, so it kept that in sync as well. And moving on to the dialing section, well, here when you want to call someone, for example, let's try to call a name, it will offer you three options: my Orange SIM, my Vodafone SIM and internet calling, so that's an interesting option. Sadly, while in the other device I tested from Allview, the other dual SIM phone, it had two buttons here, one for each SIM. Now I'm forced to first call people and then select what SIM I like. The other one had buttons separate for each SIM, so I regret that choice. Well, you saw the social networking, you saw the video playback, audio playback, the interface of this device, and now I'm going to show you the gallery, just for kicks. Here's the gallery on this phone. I've taken lots of pictures with it. I can say that the camera is decent. It's nowhere near the level of an HTC or Samsung device, but the colors are pretty vivid. Okay, enough about that. As you can see, some lag appears from time to time. There's also the texting area, which I just click and I'm waiting for it to load. Texts will be written as a threaded conversation, as shown here, with the SIM card that received them next to them. And let's see what more I can show you and what we missed. As you can see, I have a lot of apps, but most of them are useless, since that one mobile market store doesn't offer interesting content. At least we have Google Books with some e-reading experience. So if I can read some wonderful stories, I can use Google Books. Don't expect too much from this app. It's a standard e-reading app. You just swipe around your way through the book. And here are some options. We have the font settings, the text settings, the line spacing, the distance of fonts and lines and other stuff like that. There is also a list of chapters, so e-reading can be done on this phone. Now it's time to check out some apps that I've installed on this device. Well, let's see. One of them is My Play Chef HD, or Chef better said, My Play Chef HD. It's a simple app for kids that allows you to pretend that you're cooking. So it reminds me of the action that you have to do when using a Nintendo DS. If you want to add an ingredient, and if you want to add flour, just like on the Nintendo DS, that you have to move it to make it work. It's quite interesting, but gets repetitive over time. So now you cooked. I guess that I have to mix them up. And now use this to make the dough. And now I guess I have to sauce it. Making pizza is harder than I thought. And now I'll bake it. And the pizza should be ready. Okay, that was it. Fun app for kids. Now let's see what else. There's one for manga passionates, so if you're into manga and other such stuff like anime or other Japanese cartoons or graphical novels, here we are. It's an app called Mobi Manga. A ton of stories. Let's go to the Manga Fox. It's going to show you the most popular manga stories. Let's choose Bleach. And it's taking some time to load. It's also got some ads at the bottom. And these are some episodes. Bleach has been licensed, so it doesn't have the license for that one. Let's try Naruto. It's sure taking a while. Naruto has been licensed, so it doesn't seem to work. Let's try this one. Lots of problem with licensing here, as I can see. Let's try some Italian manga. Comedy. Anyway, this is manga heaven. If you're into, as I said, manga, anime, other type of Japanese comics, well, you should like this one. Hopefully this one will work. Here we are. Should work this time. And this is an Italian manga. Pretty chaotic rendering. Okay, you get the idea. Now let's end it all with some Angry Birds, some good old Angry Birds before the verdict. As I said, the CPU on this device is a bit of a problem. It lags sometimes, and I really didn't feel that the device had these problems when I tried the previous version of the phone. So I'm kind of underwhelmed. Why pay more for a device that does less than its predecessor? And it's still loading. Here we are. Quick round of Angry Birds. Okay, I completed the level. Let's try one more. And that's about it. Okay guys, this was it. This is the Allview P3 Alldro, a bit of an underwhelming phone from Romanian company Allview. I liked its predecessor better. It's a dual SIM Android phone with Android 2.3 on board, a custom experience. It doesn't have Android Market, that doesn't work on it. It doesn't have YouTube, it doesn't have a decent video player. So as I said, I'm a bit disappointed by this device, but for this price and using this custom mobile market app store, maybe you'll get the hang of it and you'll like it, but for now, underwhelming experience and a disappointing device. This is it, this is dsndom.com. Hope you like the review and I'll be back with more in the following weeks.